Hey guys, I wanted to do another easy meal recipe for you guys. And I also wanted to kind of start a series of recipes using Aldi products. And if you're not familiar with the Aldi grocery store, you really need to check them out if you have one near you all. I personally love them. I've been shopping there for a while now, and I had went there once, gosh, probably 24 years ago, and wasn't that impressed with them, but the store has really changed a lot. I cannot say enough good things about their products. Every single one of these products that you see for this recipe we're doing comes from Aldi, and the quality is just excellent. I honestly can't tell a bit of difference between an Aldi brand and a national brand. But we're going to get into our recipe today. We are doing a baked ravioli. This is just the most simple recipe in the world. It takes no time to put together and not really that long to cook, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, if that long, even depending on how hot your oven gets. But we're going to take we're making a baked ravioli. I don't know if I said that or not. You guys would probably like to know what you're making, huh? The first thing we're going to do is get our spaghetti sauce. And I'm just using a Bird spaghetti sauce, because the whole purpose of this is for ease and convenience of making a home-cooked meal, but it not taking forever. I mean, if you really want to make your sauce from scratch, you can, but I'm also wanting to show the Aldi products too, so you guys can try them. This jar of spaghetti sauce at Aldi is 99 cents at the Aldi where I live. And I usually do kind of doctor it up. I mean, it tastes great on its own, but I'll sometimes add a little extra oregano or something like that to it to doctor it up a little bit, just give it a little more flavor. Alright, so we're going to get a layer of tomato sauce on the bottom. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your bag of ravioli, and some of them might be kind of stuck together. You're going to start laying out your ravioli in your pan. Just like this. You're just going to do them, oops, good if you guys could see that, huh? You're going to do them like in a row. I'm going to get all these laid out, and I'll be right back. Alright, we've got all of our ravioli laid out in the pan and some sauce, and obviously you could do more sauce in the bottom of your pan if you wanted to. I'm not hugely big on spaghetti sauce or tomato sauce, but I like to keep it kind of light, so if you wanted to add more, that's fine. The next thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to sprinkle some some Parmesan Romano cheese all over the top of the ravioli. And then we're going to add some mozzarella to it. This would be really great too if you had some fresh or thawed out frozen spinach. You could just layer your spinach all over the top of your ravioli, and that would be really good. But we're keeping ours simple today. Also, if you had some ricotta, you could spoon some, you could mix your Parmesan, mozzarella, and ricotta together just like you would for a lasagna or a stuffed shell, and spoon that all over the top of the ravioli, and that would be really good, and it would make it more like an actual like lasagna bake. And I love mozzarella cheese, so I'm going to put quite a bit of mozzarella in here. Alright. And then I'm not going to add any more spaghetti sauce to it. At this point, we're just going to wait and put more over the top. But I'm going to take another layer of ravioli and get more layered on there, and I'll be back. Alright, we've got the rest of our raviolis laid out. I actually think I put probably a few too many on the bottom row, because I could have actually had a couple more on the top, but it doesn't really matter at all. It'll all go together and it'll be good. So the next thing we're going to do is take our spaghetti sauce, and we're going to now pour this all over the top. And obviously, if you had another bag of ravioli, you could do as many layers as your pan would hold. That's entirely up to you how much you want to put. Alright. got our sauce here, and I'm just going to kind of spread it out. Which probably would have been easier to do with a pastry brush. But we'll make this work. Oops. Try not to mess your ravioli up in the process. Alrighty, that's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add more Parmigiano-Reggiano cheese. As much or as little as you prefer. And you obviously could use fresh shredded Parmesan if you choose that instead of the powdered kind. Get it all good and covered. Like I said, I like a lot of cheese, so my ravioli is going to have a lot of cheese. Then we're going to add some more mozzarella. This mozzarella cheese from Aldi has the best flavor to it. I actually think it's better than like Kraft or some of the other brands. Alright, I think that is good. All right, next thing I'm going to do is get this covered with some aluminum foil. You want to bake it covered just like you would a lasagna. And then you're going to take your aluminum foil off for about the last 10 to 15 minutes of cooking to let your cheese get good and melted and brown. I'm going to get this in a 350 degree oven and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright guys, our ravioli bake is out of the oven, and as you can see the cheese is all melted, and I didn't leave it in there to get, you know, too brown, so I didn't want the cheese to get too hard. But it's going to have to sit here and kind of cool for a little while, just so that when you try to cut it, it doesn't, you know, all run everywhere. So, but in the meantime, I'm going to make some garlic cheese bread. I've got a loaf of Italian bread. This is not from Aldi. I got this at Walmart for like $1. They have the best loaves of bread for $1, either French bread or Italian bread. And I just sliced it down the middle, spread a thin layer of butter on it. And then I'm going to take some garlic powder. And obviously you could use fresh garlic on this if you chose to and mix it with your butter, but I think garlic powder is just as easy and it tastes just as good. But I'm going to sprinkle both halves with the garlic powder. Aldi does actually sell garlic bread and bread sticks in their freezer section, which are really good, and they're cheaper than like your, you know, bigger name brand grocery stores. A lot cheaper actually. So you can check those out too. I just didn't have any, and I had this loaf of bread, so I wanted to use it up so it wouldn't go bad. So next we are going to add some mozzarella cheese to this, because you can never have too much cheese, and we don't obviously have enough in our ravioli. Move the camera so you guys can see this, hopefully. This is really simple and it turns out so good, and it only takes like, you know, 10 minutes to cook or so. You basically just want to let it get heated through. Let your cheese get melted and brown. And that's it. And by the time this gets done, the ravioli will be cooled and set up enough that we can cut into it and fix a plate. I think I'm just going to finish off this bag of mozzarella on this. It's almost empty. These bags of mozzarella, this is 4 cups of mozzarella. They're $3.99 a bag at my Aldi. And like I said, it has the best flavor. It's a lot cheaper than the cheese that I normally get like at Kroger or even Walmart. Alright, so I'm going to get my garlic cheese bread in the oven and let that cook. And when we come back, I will show you, I'll fix this a plate and show you what the ravioli looks like. Here is our finished plate. We've got our baked ravioli and our garlic cheese bread. The garlic cheese bread cooked for about 10 minutes or so on 425. You can cook it at 350, it's just going to take longer. So, as you can see, the cheese got all melted and brown, and it is so good. And our ravioli, excuse me, is all done, and the cheese melted, and I've got some plated up, and it is delicious. So, give this recipe a try. You don't have to buy the products at Aldi if you don't have one near you, but I highly recommend that you go check out the store. I'm going to try to do a lot more recipes using Aldi products to show you guys, you know, what you can do with their stuff. Because like I said, I love the store. It's great. I have saved so much money since I started doing the majority of my shopping at Aldi. Now, obviously, it's a small grocery store if you're familiar with it. They don't have a ton of products, but I kind of like that. And the products that they do have, they're very high quality. And if you don't like something, they have a double money back guarantee, no questions asked. So, anyway, if you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Leave me a comment if you want. Tell me what you think about it, or what your favorite products are at Aldi, or if you've ever tried Aldi and if you like them. But it's time to eat now, guys. I will see you next time.